What up, Pittsburgh Steelers fans? Matty P here with another episode of Steelers Touching Under. We are reviewing the Steelers' fourth round pick of Jack Sawyer. That's right, Jack Sawyer, the edge and outside linebacker for the new edge outside linebacker, I should say, for the Pittsburgh Steelers out of the Ohio State. Now, Jack Sawyer is an interesting player. He's a player that I actually didn't have on my top 75. I thought about it, but I thought that most 4-3 teams would go out and grab him as a bigger edge defender. He's a much bigger linebacker in that sort of 260, range. Doesn't mean that he has to carry 260. TJ is like 252, 256 between that usually. So it's kind of interesting in terms of the size of the bloke, but the Steelers get a really, really good player here. Now, I think the other thing that's interesting when you look at Jack Sawyer is production. Now, when you look at the production side of these edge rushers, you want a guy that's got a heap of sacks. This guy has between 25 and 23 sacks. It's a very odd thing for me to say. Why did I just say 20 to 23 or 25 sacks? According to Sports Reference, which is Pro Football Reference's college site, he has 23 sacks. PFF have him at 25 sacks. PFF round up half sacks. So just remember that when you're talking about Jack Sawyer. But still, 23 sacks is nothing to shy away from. When we look at his 23 sacks, 9 of them came last year, according to Sports Reference. When you look at them on PFF, 10 of them came last year. So really productive in his final year. Probably slipped. I'm surprised that he's been taken this late. Overall, he was Daniel Jeremiah's 70th best player in the draft. That's right, 70th best player in the draft, and the Steelers go get him in round 4. According to Pro Football Sports Networks, they had him at 178. So the Steelers overdrafted him by their list. But if you look at PFF, Jack Sawyer was 92nd best player overall. So again, Steelers got him in a really good spot. Basically got him 10 spots later than what he should have been picked. Effectively according to them. So not too bad when you look at that. The Steelers definitely have got someone there. I did not think he would be there by then in the fourth. And I also didn't think that a 3-4 team like the Steelers would go and get him, but I don't hate it. I just didn't think they would do it. And again, part of that was because I thought he'd be off the board by the time they got to their picks. So it would be a much earlier day 3 pick. What else does he bring to the mix? Well, he has 29 tackles for a loss. 9 of them came last year as well. Had 1 interception. According to PFF, they don't think that they had the interception, but they have him at 10 batted balls. And if you look at pass defense, there's 11 pass defense on Pro Football Reference. 7 of them came last year, according to Sports Reference. When you look at the batted balls, 6 of them came last year on PFF. So again, he's still getting some batted balls, and that's really good at the edge rusher position. We know the Steelers like their interior defensive or the defensive line overall to be able to bat balls down and get in the mix. So I do really like that from him overall. PFF, they don't measure hurries on Sports Reference. PFF have him at 80 hurries as well, which is pretty cool with the pressures. 38 of them came last year. So even if you don't care about PFF's numbers, and we talked about the sacks, the fact that almost half of the pressures they have him down for came last year is particularly huge. And this is really good in the mix. I talked about when I did my top 75 going into the draft a few days back, I talked about the need to go get an edge rusher, a guy there to support them, a guy to have a rotation. I justified some other picks there in my top 75 players. So for him to still be there on the board, I am just really surprised, and I'm really thrilled. And I think that what better team if you're Jack Sawyer to come into the Steelers. I think that's this is going to be a really good thing overall for his career. So pretty excited by that. I'll just pull up where he lined up. Yeah, so he lined up all apart from 33 snaps. Sorry, yeah. So he lined up on the defensive line for 1,774 snaps of his 1,810 snaps. The only other place he really lined up was over the B gap. So definitely an edge rusher, definitely an outside guy. Yeah, so 1,734 out of 1,810 snaps were played on the outside. So that's going to tell you really where he's sitting there. He did have 31 snaps over the tackle, but this is a guy that is definitely playing edge rush for the Steelers this year. And what a guy to bring in the mix, particularly when you've got the adaptability of Malik Harrison. The Steelers are getting their defense together. This team is ready. And do you know what this says to me? This is another pick that confirms that the fact that the Steelers are going to hopefully, depending on how much way you look at it, bring in Aaron Rodgers when it's all said and done. But you let me know in the comments if you have with the Jack Sawyer pick, because I think you should be. I'm Matty P. As always, go Steelers.